When Donald Trump calls you out in a Truth Social post, it means you've landed deep under his thin skin with something. So what bombshell did the New York Times just drop on the commander-in-chief of chaos that has him boiling over with rage this morning? It's an expose about his declining health, and I have all the damning details for you next. I'm Dan, and welcome to another Occupy Democrats Report. Please hit that subscribe button so you'll receive all of our detailed takedowns of Trump. And today's is massive because it pulls back the curtain on his dance with mortality. Let's begin with his very defensive and very hostile reaction to the Times expose. His first thing this morning post said, "The creeps at the failing New York Times are at it again. I won the 2024 presidential election in a landslide, winning all 7 swing states, the popular vote, and the Electoral College by a lot. I won our nation's districts by 2,750 to 550, a complete wipeout. I settled 8 wars, have 48 new stock market highs, our economy is great, and our country is respected again all over the world. Respected like never before. The last administration had the highest inflation in history. I've already brought that down to normal, and prices, including groceries, are coming down. To do this requires a lot of work and energy, and I have never worked so hard in my life. Yet despite all of this, the radical left lunatics in the soon-to-fold New York Times did a hit piece on me that I am perhaps losing my energy, despite facts that show the exact opposite. They know this is wrong, as is almost everything they write about me, including election results. All purposely negative. This cheap rag is truly an enemy of the people. The writer of the story, Katie Rogers, who is assigned to write only bad things about me, is a third-rate reporter who is ugly both inside and out. Despite all of this, I have my highest poll numbers ever, and with record-setting investment being made in America, they should only go up. There will be a day when I run low on energy. It happens to everyone. But with a perfect physical exam and a comprehensive cognitive test that was aced, just recently taken, it certainly is not now. God bless America and make America great again." So what was it that lit up Trump's brain in defense of Trump's declining brain and body? The article in the New York Times began with, "Shorter days, signs of fatigue. Trump faces realities of aging in office. President Trump has always used his stamina and energy as a political strength, but that image is getting harder for him to sustain."
The day before Halloween, President Trump landed at Joint Base Andrews after spending nearly a week in Japan and South Korea. He was then whisked to the White House, where he passed out candy to trick-or-treaters. Allies crowed over the president's stamina. "This man has been nonstop for days," one wrote online. A week later, Mr. Trump appeared to doze off during an event in the Oval Office. With headline-grabbing posts on social media, combative interactions with reporters, and speeches full of partisan red meat, Mr. Trump can project round-the-clock energy, virility, and physical stamina. Now, at the end of his 8th decade, Mr. Trump and the people around him still talk about him as if he is the Energizer Bunny of presidential politics. The reality is more complicated. Mr. Trump, 79, is the oldest person to be elected to the presidency, and he is aging. To preempt any criticism about his age, he often compares himself to President Joseph R. Biden Jr., who at 82 was the oldest person to hold the office, and whose aides took measures to shield his growing frailty from the public, including by tightly managing his appearances. For years, concerns and questions about Mr. Trump's health have often been met with obfuscation or minimal explanation from the people around him. Mr. Trump's physicians have not taken questions from reporters in years, including when he was seriously ill with COVID in 2020. There were no medical briefings held after an assassination attempt against him in Butler, PA, last summer. Many of the facts that concerned critics about Mr. Trump's physical health during his first term are present now. He does not get regular exercise, in part because he has a long-held theory that people are born with a finite amount of energy and that vigorous activity can deplete that reserve, like a battery. He enjoys red meat and is known to eat McDonald's by the sackful. According to a Times analysis of the official presidential schedules in a database maintained by Roll Call, Mr. Trump's first official event starts later in the day. In 2017, the first year of his first term, Mr. Trump's scheduled events started at 10:31 a.m. on average. By contrast, Mr. Trump in his second term has started scheduled events in the afternoon on average at 12:08 p.m. His events end on average at around the same time as they did during the first year of his first term, shortly after 5 p.m. The number of Mr. Trump's total official appearances has decreased by 39%. In 2017, Mr. Trump held 1,688 official events between January 20th and November 25th of that year. For that same time period this year, Mr. Trump has appeared in 1,029 official events. There is one thing Mr. Trump is doing more of in his second term: talking about the afterlife. He has brought up heaven and the question of whether he would get in half a dozen times since taking office for the second time.
Those are just the highlights, but there is so much more from the reporters Katie Rogers and Dylan Freeman. Please visit the New York Times website for the full story. Donald Trump can run his mouth as he often does, but he cannot hide from the uncomfortable truth. But the most uncomfortable truth just might be, what happens if his mind goes completely off the rails before his body? How much extreme damage can be done before there's some kind of intervention, if there's any intervention at all? It has been said that the Democrats failed to challenge Joe Biden's seat at the head of the table when his age was showing, but Joe was not a madman ordering the military into cities and the Justice Department to jail his enemies. In a best-case scenario, Trump's loyalists will be slow to acknowledge that our wannabe dictator has lost his mind and have a conversation about Article 25.